Josh here with Frenetic Pace Sports. Going to talk some Tigers today. Obviously, I know it's All-Star Week and things like that, but right now is a good time to kind of just, I think, try to at least get a high-level look at kind of where they're at in a few different ways. I'm going to go a little more in depth. I'm going to talk about it on this video here. I'm going to do a little bit of an article on just necessarily the standing side of it. Obviously, everything blends together, but talk about the standing side of it, kind of where they're at, not only in the division, but the wild card. And then also I'm going to do a video probably tomorrow on kind of just, not just the Tarek School situation, but just a little more in depth on the thoughts on buying and selling in general, and kind of when those decisions are probably going to be made and what kind of time they have left. So as we sit here today, Monday of the Home Run Derby, All-Star game tomorrow, the Detroit Tigers are 44-52, right? Division-wise, they are 6.5 games back. While the White Sox and Guardians, those two teams are tied for the division lead. And they are 3.5 games back of the Twins, so they are in fourth place. I want to just give a couple different just numbers here to kind of show reality-wise where they're at and what they probably have to do. So the number that after looking at the standings here today, if you were like, all right, Josh, how many wins do you think they are going to need to make the playoffs, whether it kind of either be the division or the wild card? The number I kind of have circled right as of today, and of course this is a guess with not an exact science, it's just kind of looking at what is likely to happen with all the teams where they're currently at in the game that they have left. 85 wins is where I think I would say, hey, again, nothing can ever be guaranteed. Maybe it's a little less, maybe it's a little more, but I'd say, hey, I think they got a pretty good shot at making the playoffs. Now, that would mean that they would have to go 41 and 25, and they have 66 games left. That's a 61% winning percentage. That's a lot. It's a lot of winning, but that's what they have to do. I mean, they dug themselves a hole. It's not impossible. I mean, it's not like a 2024 run here that we're asking, okay? I mean, that was 31-13 that they did at the end of the year in that year. But, I mean, a few things, they're going to need some help. I mean, because, like, for instance, 85 wins means the White Sox win 35 games out of their last 67, okay? That's a 52% win percentage for the White Sox. Cleveland's only has 65 games left, so the same 52%, but they have to win 34 more games. They've won 51 games. So they're going to need some help with teams losing a little bit. I mean, like if Chicago or Cleveland goes on a little bit of a run, no matter what the Tigers do, it's division-wise, it's probably not going to be good, right? As far as the wild card goes, they are 3.5 games out of the wild card. Well, Josh, that sounds great. It does when you look at it that way. The problem is that there is 6 teams between them, and now there are, of course, 3 wild card spots, right? So I'm not talking about the first 2 right now. Actually, one of them right now is Cleveland, so we kind of already talked about them. Cleveland's in the second wild card right now, technically, because of the series with Chicago. But quickly here, Seattle is 48-49. Minnesota is 48-49. The Red Sox are 46-48. Houston Astros are 47-51. The Baltimore Orioles are 46-51, and the Toronto Blue Jays are 45-51, one game ahead of the Tigers. So Seattle, again, 80. If you're saying 85 wins, and I say that because, well, Josh, those teams haven't won enough games. Well, yeah, but there's 3 more teams that are like, say, hey, they can go on a run and win some games, because for instance, two of these teams, the Houston Astros and Seattle Mariners, are in the same division. They got to play. So while someone has to lose, positive, someone also has to win, negative. So while these teams don't have as good of a record as Cleveland and Chicago when you're talking about the divisional race, there's just more teams. So it's like more likely to say, hey, maybe one of these 6 teams can go on a run. The good news is, the Tigers can kind of control themselves more against anyone against like the Twins. But it's a 57% winning percentage for Seattle, 57% winning percentage for Minnesota. Boston is saying 57. Houston's 59%. Baltimore 60%, and then Toronto is 1 game ahead, so it actually equals out 61%, a little bit less, but still gets to 61% for the Jays. So anyways, that's just kind of how it looks realistically. Date-wise, they have 16 games left until the deadline. That means exactly 50 left post trade deadline, August 3rd. Obviously, I mean, the big schoolboy and every other decision, Casey Mize, Gleyber Torres, whoever else you want to talk about, we'll talk about that a little more. I even kind of say, hey, 10 games in, that's Sunday against Kansas City. Where are they? I mean, it could even necessarily be over. The decision could be before them. And I don't just mean that in a negative way. I mean, if they start out 6-0, then hey, okay, that's great. But if they start 0-6 or even 2-4, probably 2-4 even, they probably can't even really do that. Between the Angels and the Cubs, then it's going to be like, all right, maybe we can't push. But, we'll see here. So kind of circle that date, Sunday, July 26th. That could kind of be like a good barometer where they're at. So I know that was kind of long, but I think it's a good update to kind of just put a realistic scope on where they're at and kind of where they have to get to be, not necessarily even just by the end of the year, but even in the next 16 games here. I'd say 12-4, realistically. I mean, I know that sounds kind of crazy, but yeah, they got to win games. So we're going to talk more about even on the other kind of the buy-sell side tomorrow and get some articles out. So we'll see what happens. And hey, Riley's starting the All-Star game, so that's cool. Left field.